and welcome back to another episode of the Washington Nationals March to October. Here so far on Season 3, we have not gotten ourselves off to the best start here. We're 7-13, only 4 back of the division though. The division as a whole has been struggling. And I'm not really too worried because last season we got off to a slow start as well. I think we were doing even worse actually. And obviously we came back and won the World Series. Now the reason that we're not starting right in on this game is because I have a couple things to do before we do that. The first one being I've made a slight adjustment to our trade management screen. I think it was last episode I came to the epiphany that if I'm trying to draft first baseman and my only trade targets are prospects, I may as well put first baseman on our positional needs screen. So I went through and found a couple of guys to target that are young first basemen with pretty good potential, and those are Tristan Casas from the Red Sox. He's only 25, he's a 74, he's got really solid hitting just across the board, and even his fielding's pretty solid too. He is like the most average player right now you could think of. But he's got that A potential and a lot of time to get there, and he had a good season last year, and he's off to another good start this year. And the other player is good old Charlton Francis, my initial draft target back in season 1, who got taken with the first overall pick when I had the second overall pick. He had a good rookie season under his belt. He's off to another good start this year, and obviously, I mean, he's already 2 overall higher than Tristan Casas, and he's 5 years younger, and he's a switch hitter. So obviously it would take more to get Francis, so we'd have to be pretty vigilant on what the trade offer is if it pops up for him. Casas, it probably would still take a decent piece to move him, but not anything as big as Francis. And then the other thing I wanted to do is over on the pitching, Mackenzie Gore is it's not working for him. He's had his struggles throughout this series. I mean, both years he's been moved to the bullpen at certain points, and both years he's had his struggles, like I said. But this year it's on a whole different level. He's made 4 starts so far. He's lost all 4. He's only averaged 3 1/3 innings per start. I mean, a 16.20 ERA, a whip over 3, so he's allowing more than 3 base runners per inning he pitches. And in 13 innings, he's already almost at a whole negative win above replacement. Win below replacement, really. So it's just an astronomically bad start. And we have a couple other guys because we're obviously off to a slow start as a team. I don't think I've won a game yet. We've had nothing but negative momentum. So you'd have to think once I do start winning games and the momentum turns around, things will start getting better. But there's just no indication that things will get better enough for Gore right away, because you got Snell, who's also off to a pretty bad start, also 0-4. He's got an 8.20 ERA, bad whip, but the peripheral stats are at least good enough to keep his WAR equal, because the FIP is only at 509. Same thing with Adone. You don't like seeing the 703 ERA, but he actually has a positive WAR because the FIP's down at 448. So with them two, there's a pretty clear indication that once I turn it around, they're gonna turn it around. But with Gore, that's not there. So I think my plan is, while we still have Strasburg, I'm gonna move him back into the starting rotation. We're gonna move Gore to long relief, and then what I'm gonna do is any chance I have to bring Gore into a game where it makes sense, I think I'm going to bring him into the game and try and manually get those numbers down. And then maybe if I can do that, that'll make the CPU start pitching better with them, and then when Strasburg inevitably loses it or gets traded, then he can slide right back in. So now we're ready to hop into the game. It is giving us a good chance here to pick up our first win of the season. We're up 1. It's the bottom of the 7th. The Twins do have a runner on with 1 out. We have Nick Sandlin on the mound, who has been pretty solid, it looks like. And one thing I wanted to mention too, before I forget, I've had a couple comments throughout the course of this series. I mean, when I say a couple, I literally mean probably like 2. Asking about wearing different jerseys, specifically those really cool Cherry Blossom Tree City Connect jerseys. But the problem is, I don't get to choose that in March to October. You don't get to make the decision on what jerseys you wear. I think the only 3 jerseys in the rotation are the home jerseys, the white ones, the gray aways, and then the ones we're wearing right now, which are just the alternates. I've never seen a different jersey on in 2 full seasons and now going into a 3rd, and I don't get the chance to like say, hey, for this game I want to wear this jersey. I wish I did. That's another change on the list I would love to see in March to October. And there we go, Sandlin, that just dropped off the table. I missed my spot and that still got him. Oh, and first pitch, I'm grounding over to second base with Meneses. That is a different problem than I normally have. That actually makes me kind of happy. Usually I'm gonna get under everything. That time, I was on top of it. Oh, they didn't let me. Yeah, fair enough. I guess I shouldn't even be checking on a pitch like that. And that one I rolled over on. All right. Could not make a good swing off of Phil Maton there in the 8th. I think I'll just go ahead and leave Sandlin in. It took him 4 pitches to get out of that last inning. That was spooky. I think Soto's going to get there, though. We don't want to be leaving a fastball right down the middle to Buxton. That's about the one thing he is going to make contact on. This might be the first time seeing Garrett Doyle in person? We've talked a lot about him, but I don't recognize that stance, so I don't think I've actually faced him. Let's challenge him up and in with the heat. Blow it past him. Sandlin, there we go. And we got the rollover on 3-2. Really nice outing out of Nick Sandlin. Gavin Sheets, there we go with the base hit. Rosario also with the base hit. All right, we got something cooking here. That was a nice swing. Oh yeah, there's our new manager. I completely forgot to mention that in the first 2 episodes of this season, but when I went over into the franchise to like look at stuff, it said that Dave Martinez was no longer our manager. His contract expired, and that's another thing you can't do in March to October is hire your staff. And Kiermaier draws a walk there. We got bases loaded with the 7, 8, 9 hitters. I think all 3 of them going into that plate appearance were under 200. But yeah, so I mean, back-to-back World Series winner Dave Martinez not getting rehired. That shouldn't happen. And that's a 3-0 count to Happ with the bases loaded. Are they really about to walk in a run here? They're just leaving Phil Maton out there on an island all by himself. Okay, he threw it right down the middle. He was taking no chances there. And he threw another one, and I pulled off on it, but that should drive in the run with 48 speed. It will. And we still got a good chance to do more damage here with Garcia up. I don't know why, now I think of it, I didn't tag with Rosario going up to 3rd. Why didn't I do that? If I did that, we would have just needed another fly ball, and it could have scored another run. And yeah, that would have been it. If I would have been paying attention to all aspects of the game, that would have been a 4-1 lead now. Oh, and I just missed that fastball up and away. So we are only going to come away from a bases loaded, no out situation with only 1 run. But this will be the first that we get to see of our new closer, Sir Anthony Dominguez, and he's having a weird season. 5 innings pitched, he's converted on all 4 save opportunities he's been given, but he has a 9 ERA. He's given up 1 run per inning that he comes in, but hasn't blown a save. And we're gonna get a punch out right away. I guess he must come into a lot of situations kind of like now, where it's a save situation, but he does have the leeway to give up a run. If he gives up a run right now, that would keep his 9 ERA intact, but he could still pick up the save. Oh my god, what are you looking for? I gave you the pitch, the fastball right there on 3-2. And then a pop-up straight up to the catcher. That's going to be a 1-2-3 9th inning. That's the kind of saves we want to see out of Dominguez. And that is, I think, my first win of the season so far. We're barely going to get anything. I think that's probably only going to be a 2. But at least it's something positive. Finally. All right, let's see if I was right. Yeah, I've learned by now. That was only a 2+ game, but we finally have a little bit of positive momentum, not a ton. We're going to want a quick turnaround here. I think I'm going to go ahead, continue on another week with the same scouting assignments, and we're still losing games. Now that we have positive momentum, I think we only won one game in that sim, didn't we? Yeah, we did, because we had the game I won, and then one win with momentum. And now we've dropped back even further. Well, in that amount of simming, Mackenzie Gore's actually gotten a decent amount of work in, and the numbers are starting to come down from a 16 ERA down to a 12, and the whip is down. So I guess so far that's been a positive change, and Strasburg seems to be pitching solid enough back in a starter role. I don't understand why Adon's struggling so much. I mean, he is the reigning Cy Young Award winner. All right, let's get into this next game here. We have a 2-run lead, but they have the bases loaded here in the bottom of the 8th with an out. So if we can get a nice little double play, get ourselves out of the inning, this should turn into a pretty easy little moment here. 6-4 game though. Let's see first what we've got going on. A 4-hit game for Juan Soto. That's what we like seeing. A couple homers. We got one from Chapman, one from Happ. Hang on, wait. All 4 of Juan Soto's hits are doubles? He has 4 doubles this game? Rosario and Josh Bell are also 2 for 2. Jorge Alfaro got the start today, and he's the only one who doesn't have a hit, but he has been on base. Cavalli threw 6 1/3, only gave up 3 runs. Only struck out 5 though. He's normally a big strikeout guy. And then it looks like Sandlin is the one who got us into the spot we are in right now, with Matt Moore on the mound, and it doesn't look like we'll be able to take him out, but we also don't need to with a couple lefties coming up. And there we go, a 3-pitch strikeout. Wow. We still have to face Harper though, but Harper against a lefty is way less scary. He does have 97 clutch though, so I guess that doesn't matter, righty or lefty. But he's gonna hit it right to Chapman playing short, and we do get out of it. A punch out, a ground out, and we keep our 2-run lead. Oh, the break on that sinker got me. I really thought that was going to miss up and in, and then it just broke right back. Look at Josh Bell, though, with a 342 average for us. Oh, but then I'm going to pop out on the first pitch. Okay. And, okay, that's going to get down fair. I'm going to go for 2. This actually might... Oh, no. Okay. I couldn't remember if Harper had much of an arm, and I bet on that he didn't. But that looked like a pretty strong throw. Well, we're going to get Dominguez right back in here. Pick up another save for him. Why does he not have energy? When he was warming up, he had full energy. That doesn't make sense. There we go. Ian Happ playing third, making a nice play. And another pop-up right back to the catcher. That's going to be out number 2. Oh, and we keep the slider in the zone. Another great save from Dominguez. And that's a nice win. 15 hits in that one. Soto with 4 doubles. I still can't get over that. Only going to be one more fireball, though. And based on how our last sim went with not a ton of momentum, I don't know how much that's going to help. So yeah, there we go. Add a little bit more on. That might be good for a couple wins if we actually get them. Facing the Pirates, you'd hope we can pick up our wins against them. We got the first 2, and it's already been another week. Dang. All right, I'm going to make a couple changes this week. We're going to send Eddie Flores to scout Giancarlo Bruno specifically, because look at this guy's neck. Look at how thick that neck is. And the funny thing is, he's not even a power hitter. He's more of a contact hitter. I feel like with that name and that look, dude should hit some tanks. The contact and power should be the other way around. And then we're going to send Cody Sable out to scout William Yamazaki here, because look at the potential for the fielding and speed over on the right side. I mean, everything has a future upper end potential in like the blue, which is well above average. And then even hitting at a switch hitter, those ranges aren't terrible, but I don't know. I mean, if this guy turns into what he looks like, that could be the ideal super utility type player. And we do sweep the Pirates, and now we're back to the Phillies, and we have our first trade. All right. It looked like those first 2 games against the Phillies we split, but we'll we'll get back to that. Our first pick here, our first option, I should say. This might be the first time I've ever seen a trade for an actual prospect. Every time, I swear, I've put to target prospects and teams still try and trade me players to like make me better right now when that's not what I need. But we finally have a prospect. The Diamondbacks are wanting to trade me Emmett Roos, a lefty outfielder with pretty good contact, a potential, and he's only 21. He's doing pretty good in AAA this year so far, but I don't know. I'm kind of excited about Jose Ayala as a pitcher because, I mean, first of all, he's got a lot of stamina, so if he is actually our closer, dude could be ready to go like every game. And he's already got that high hits and Ks per 9 that's just going to keep getting better once he gets up to that B potential. So I don't know if I want to give him up. And I know he's a D potential, but I still like the thought of Jamal Magruder. Because at a 67, with still, I think, if I remember when we drafted him, he was a 69 potential. So he will get slightly better. But if this dude gets put on the 40-man and then we get to fast track him, could you imagine what that could do? If we have a successful fast track and then even if I call him up after that, even if he only turns into a C potential, fast tracks and call-ups give all the boost to contact, which he's already good at. Could you imagine 2 successful player locks to get a boost? That has to be like a plus 20 to contact. That turns him into a double 90, maybe even 99 contact against lefties, at least with 90 contact against righties. There is a spot on the big league team for a guy who would have 90 plus contact both ways. And then Alex Call, he'd be the one that I would be all right with getting rid of, because at this point he's probably never going to make it back up to the bigs just with who we have coming up through the system outfielder wise. But yeah, I think I'm going to pass on this trade. I'm just kind of betting on the best case scenario for both of these guys. Orioles, who are they going to give up? Trey Mancini? No thanks. So the Dodgers. What? Okay, so it's a 31-year-old who's never played in the MLB. He has a C potential, so there's no guarantee he gets any better than he is now, especially with that age. He is off to a good start, and he does have pretty solid numbers, but 3 nobodies for 1 nobody, that's a negative. So I think we're gonna go past this first trade opportunity here without getting any new players. So yeah, we're gonna decline all these. Unfortunate we couldn't find a good one, but we are kind of at the point with this team where if I'm gonna make the trade, it has to be the right trade. And now we get a chance to win the series against Philly. And where are we after a pretty solid sim there? We're up to 14-17. That puts us in 3rd in the division. 3 games back. Kind of crowded here from 2nd place to 5th. All right, but I want to play this next game here. Let's get into it. We're down 1 again, so they're putting me in a tough spot. We have 2 innings at the plate to make our comeback here. So let's get it done. We got Ahmed Rosario up. Is he a pinch hitter? Because he doesn't have stats. It's showing his season stats. All right, let's see. Let's see what we're looking at here. Oh, Rosario has 2 walks, so he doesn't have an at-bat. Maybe that's why it was showing that. Meneses has a bomb. Garcia with an RBI double, it looks like, and that's where our runs have come from. We had Snell on the mound, who had a good start. The ERA's down to 5.09, and their starter is still out there on the mound. And man, dude, Rosario's batting average is up to 275. He might be on a tear right now. When we were going into that last game, I think his average was at like 180. And I'm way out in front of that slider. That didn't look good. All right, they're playing deep and down the line here. I want to try and lay one down the 3rd base line with Kiermaier. Oh, he bunted it too hard. That was still really close, though. Oh, it was just a slightly better bunt, and that would have been a really good idea. Man, I haven't been keeping up with... Oh, and there's Ian Happ getting hit. Okay, I was just about to say I haven't been keeping up with our players' stats too much, because I did not realize Ian Happ was batting .342. All right, they brought Gregory Soto in. Garcia did get a hit off of him, though, in our last game. There we go, a perfect. Luis Garcia has Gregory Soto's number here. Wish we could have gotten that to the gap or something. Oh, I was early. I was so ready for that. Look at that PCI if I waited back. Oh, and then that one got me behind it because it looked like a slider out of his hand. We had a chance there. I'm going to go to Efros here to try and keep it where it's at. There we go. Got him jammed. Hap's gonna be there. And we got the grounder on the slider. Nice play from Garcia. And another grounder. Rosario's got it. Couple of nice plays on the backhand. And we're out of the ninth without giving up any more. We have the bottom of the ninth. Meneses, Ruiz, Chapman to put up a run. They're going to a different lefty, Alvarado. I feel like he's probably easier to hit, actually, than Soto was. No, that's got to be hit well, man. That was a very good pitch to go the other way with for a leadoff double. Ruiz, oh, I thought I hit that harder. That's not a bad swing. Just a little early on an outside cutter, but I'm all over it with the PCI. Oh my God. Oh, that is right there, and I'm on top of it. Oh, I'm on top of it again. That was right there. I timed it up. I might have even been early. Oh man, I had chances in all 3 at-bats that inning. So I can't come back this year. The only games that I've won have been games that I've started with the lead. Every other one I've had to make a comeback and I've failed. And that might flip it negative, but it's not gonna affect anything as of right now. And we got another series against the Pirates, which you think would be good, but we've split it so far. And man, it seems like the scouting is just flying by right now. This Giancarlo Bruno reminds me a lot of Jamal Magruder, actually, who we were just talking about. He's not going to have potential really higher than a D, but that contact is looking really good. All right, it should only take another week to finish the starting pitcher scouting. And then over Bruno, we got another new guy here, an 18-year-old shortstop. But look at what his numbers could be. Look at the upper ends of those. I mean, hitting-wise, he might have really nice power already, with the potential to be an upper 90s power bat with good contact. And then look at the fielding and speed. If this guy hits anywhere close to the upper end and he's still there by my pick, generational. So I'm excited to see what he turns into. But then we'll go ahead, we'll advance again, and then looks like we won the series against the Pirates, and now we have a fast track with somebody I don't even recognize. Simon Muzziotti? Muzziotti? I don't know what that double Z is in Italian. Oh, but he's from Venezuela, so that doesn't add up. But this dude actually looks decent. Oh, and he actually has played in the bigs. He's a real person. I kind of assumed this was like an auto-generated dude, but he's a 64 overall C potential, only 26 years old with really solid fielding and speed. So if we get a nice upgrade to his contact and then his potential goes up, this would add him right in there on the list of our center fielder prospects. And he's our only option, so obviously we're gonna pick him. Proceed. And we will do his fast track player lock in the next episode. That's how we'll get it started. After that sim, we are 16 and 21, still 4 games back. So I think that's where we started the episode. So we really didn't make any progress. I think we also were at 89 projected wins. We did have a nice winning streak in there, but then I guess it all evened out in the end. So yeah, guys, that's gonna do it for this one today. As always, if you enjoyed, make sure you hit that like button for me. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. We've got so much of this Nationals March to October yet to come. But once again, thank you all for watching. Thanks for stopping by today, and I will see you next time.